It's easy to find weather information almost anywhere these days, including social media. Be wary of posts from unreliable sources. We are constantly monitoring the latest model runs and data. If there's a threat, we'll be talking about it.
Hurricanes and power outages go hand in hand. But the team at Forrest General Hospital in Hattiesburg was ready. When Hurricane Katrina barreled through the Pine Belt, the hospital had enacted its hurricane safety plan to continue providing life-saving care during the storm. But what they did not know was at the time there was a fatal flaw in their plan.
Hurricane Katrina was a defining moment in Forrest General's history. The storm tested every part of our hospital infrastructure, staff, supply chains.
That fatal flaw wasn't with the hospital, but instead lied with the Hattiesburg Waterworks. You see, at the time, Hattiesburg's water wells did not have backup generators. So when the power went out, the city could no longer provide water to the hospital. And without water, the hospital could no longer cool their generators, which caused both of them to fail after nearly 40 hours of continuous use. Without water, electricity, and air conditioning, Forrest General Hospital had no choice but to evacuate the center and transfer patients to any surrounding hospitals that could take them. Determined to never let this happen again, the team at Forrest General developed a plan.
The decision was made that if this ever happened again, we would have our own power plant, our own water supply. And we worked alongside of Mississippi Power to design and build the generator plant we have here. We also added a 750,000 gallon water tower. It's got its own well to feed it so we can isolate from the city or directly feed the hospital.
Not wasting any time, the hospital quickly got to work.
Within just 2 years of the storm, Forrest General had completed a comprehensive series of emergency upgrades in direct response to lessons learned from Katrina, and has continued to build on those efforts to ensure our patients and community are protected.
If faced with another Katrina-caliber hurricane, Forrest General Hospital is confident that they will be able to continue life-saving care before, during, and after the storm.
It's really important to have a plan well before hurricane season and definitely before a hurricane threatens South Mississippi. But we talked to the Biloxi Police Department about why it is so important to listen to officials, know when to evacuate, and to know what zone you're in when evacuations are happening. This is because sometimes during a storm, first responders cannot get to you.
911, where's your emergency?
Yeah, I'm on the beach in Biloxi, and my apartment is coming apart.
Okay.
About 4 foot of water's underneath me. I'm on the second floor.
Right now, there's nothing that we can do as far as coming to rescue you. 911.
I need help. Try to send help ASAP because we have a lot of people over here.
No emergency personnel can be on the road. Okay, that's why there was a mandatory evacuation.
Over and over during Hurricane Katrina, dispatchers got desperate calls.
911, what's your emergency? We're down on the beach. The only thing I can tell you to do is pretty much do what you got to do because we can't get nobody to you right now.
But once the storm arrives, there is a point, as happened in Hurricane Katrina, where it becomes far too dangerous for first responders to come to your aid.
So once we're kind of in the thick of it, there's really limits to what we can do.
When local officials issue evacuation orders, you need to be ready to go.
I think preparation beforehand is kind of the key factor, to know where you're going, what you're going with, who you're going with, make any kind of arrangements you need to make for animals at home. Are you taking them with you? What are you doing with animals? You know, what routes are you going to take? Are you going to be staying with family in another state? You know, what are your options? And I think the worst time to be considering those things is when you have to.
Here are some flooding safety tips. So you want to move to the highest level of a well-built structure, and if you are able to evacuate and there still is going to be flooding issues, you want to make sure to avoid flooded roadways. 1 foot of water can float vehicles, and 2 feet of rushing water can carry most vehicles, including SUVs. So if you do come across flooded roadways, you want to make sure to turn around and don't drown, and avoid any of those hazards as best as you can. another thing that does occur within the outskirts of hurricanes are actually tornadoes. So if a tornado warning is issued, you want to go to the interior-most part of a house and the lowest level of a well-built structure if it is not a house when these tornado warnings are issued. You want to put as many walls in between you as possible. That could be a hallway or a bathroom. You just want to make sure to stay away from any of those outer walls and stay away from windows. Make sure to stay in that safe place until the all clear is given, whether it be from flooding or from tornadoes associated with hurricanes.
Coming up, I talk with both active and retired linemen and utility workers right here in the Pine Belt about the aftermath and lessons learned since Hurricane Katrina.
Inland flooding is often an overlooked hazard with tropical systems, especially if the system is supposedly weak. However, strong or weak systems can bring disastrous flooding hundreds of miles inland. So it's best to be aware and to prepare.